On December 20, 1968, a young couple, 16-year-old Betty Lou Jensen and 17-year-old David Faraday, went on their first date in David's car. Seeking privacy, they drove to a secluded area near Lake Herman in California. Little did they know, a stranger was watching them. As they stopped near the lake, a stranger's car appeared. He ordered them out of the car, and when they refused, he fired a shot at the rear tire to intimidate them. Terrified, David and Betty fled the car, but the man shot them both. David was struck in the head, while Betty was hit 5 times in the back. The killer quickly disappeared, leaving behind 2 bodies and a chilling clue to a terrifying new figure in history, the Zodiac Killer. Between the 1960s and 70s, the Zodiac Killer terrorized the San Francisco Bay Area, committing brutal murders, taunting the police and the public with cryptic letters, and leaving behind an array of unsettling clues. His first confirmed murders on that fateful December night set the stage for what would become one of the most infamous unsolved serial killer cases. On July 4, 1969, while America celebrated Independence Day, 18-year-old Darlene Ferrin and 16-year-old Michael Mageau were out buying fireworks when they noticed a car following them. To shake off the tail, they pulled into Blue Rock Springs Park's parking lot, but the stranger followed them in. The man parked next to their car, reversed, and for a moment, Darlene and Michael thought they were safe. However, the man returned, blocking their car's exit, and then, with a flashlight, approached them. At first, they mistook him for a police officer, but soon he opened fire on them, killing Darlene instantly and injuring Michael, who later survived. The police were alerted by 3 children who had witnessed the attack, and Michael gave a detailed description of the killer, which led to a sketch. Later that night at 12:04 a.m., the Vallejo Police Department received a strange phone call. The caller hung up without speaking, marking Zodiac's first known communication with the police. A month later, on August 1, 1969, the Zodiac Killer sent letters to 3 newspapers, claiming responsibility for the Lake Herman and Blue Rock Springs Park murders. The letters contained private details only known to the police, such as the number of shots fired, the type of ammunition used, and the victim's clothing. Along with the letters, Zodiac included a cryptic cipher, demanding that it be published in the newspapers, threatening more killings if it was not. The cipher was published the following day, and it took a couple from San Francisco only a few days to crack it. The message read, "I enjoy killing people. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all." The letter also mentions Zodiac's belief in the afterlife, claiming that his victims would become his slaves once they died. After this cryptic message, Zodiac went quiet for 2 months but resurfaced on September 27, 1969. Ryan Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, a college couple, were picnicking near Benicia Lake when they noticed a man approaching them wearing a hood with the Zodiac symbol on it. The man, armed with a gun, demanded money and car keys, and after Brian handed over the keys and some change, the Zodiac tied their hands with rope and began stabbing them repeatedly. Believing they were both dead, Zodiac wrote a message on Brian's car with a marker and then fled. A nearby fisherman found the couple, and though Cecilia died from her injuries, Brian survived and provided a detailed account of the attack. Later that night, Zodiac called the police, providing specific details about the attack. From the pattern of these killings, police recognized certain behaviors. The Zodiac targeted young couples, his attacks often occurred on weekends or holidays, and he preferred nighttime assaults, typically at well-known dating spots or near bodies of water. Just 2 weeks later, on October 11, 1969, Zodiac shifted his pattern. He murdered Paul Stein, a taxi driver in Presidio Heights. After shooting him point-blank in the head, Zodiac took a piece of Stein's shirt as a souvenir. 2 children witnessed the crime, but when police arrived and questioned a man in the area, they did not suspect him, missing an opportunity to capture the killer. Later, fingerprints found in Stein's cab were confirmed to match Zodiac's. Zodiac continued to send disturbing letters, each one more taunting than the last. He even threatened to kill schoolchildren, causing widespread panic, although no such attack ever occurred. As police continued their investigation, a new sketch of the killer was released and taxi drivers were advised to be on alert. On October 22, 1969, Zodiac made an unusual call to the Oakland Police Department asking to speak to a prominent lawyer, Melvin Bailey. After some confusion, Zodiac finally spoke on air, but investigators later determined that the call had come from a mental patient at Napa State Hospital. Shortly after, Zodiac sent more letters, including another cryptic cipher that would take decades to decode. This cipher, which was much more complex than the others, remained unsolved for 50 years until it was cracked in 2020 using computer software. However, it didn't reveal much beyond his statement denying his involvement in the TV call. He also claimed to have built a bomb and hidden it in his basement, a cryptic claim that suggested Zodiac may have lived in a house with a basement, a rare feature in the Bay Area at the time. 5 months later, in March 1970, Zodiac attempted to kidnap Kathleen Johns while she was driving on Highway 132. Fortunately, she managed to escape. The police received a fresh description, and Kathleen identified the killer from a sketch. Over the next few years, Zodiac continued sending letters, some detailing his crimes, others commenting on movies. One letter claimed the location of a bomb, but no such bomb was ever found. Zodiac's final known letter arrived on January 30, 1974. In it, he claimed to have murdered 37 people, though police could only verify 5 victims. Despite numerous suspects over the years, including Arthur Lee Allen, whose background and connections seemed to link him to the crimes, there was never enough solid evidence to confirm his identity. After years of investigation, Allen died in 1992, and other suspects, like Richard Gaikowski, were ruled out. To this day, the true identity of the Zodiac Killer remains unknown. The Zodiac Killer's brutal reign of terror and the puzzle-like nature of his taunting letters has captivated public attention for decades. The motives behind his killings, his fascination with the afterlife, and his cryptic ciphers leave us wondering, who was the Zodiac, and what drove him to terrorize a community for so long? The answers may never be known, but the mystery continues to haunt us.